let's roll this thing, shall we? Oops. Yeah, there goes my careful, superb writing. So, this time around, after I already presented my grippers, I wanted to show you all of the non-arm wrestling equipment, which is my only arm wrestling equipment, given that this is an arm wrestling channel. So that makes a lot of sense, right? But yeah, in case you haven't checked out my video where I showed you all of the grippers that I have, just very roughly in like 10-20 seconds, I have this adjustable thing, something like 5 to 40 kilos. So something like, 11 to 88 pounds. I have this thing, which is 50 kilos, but they're very much apart. They don't have the same rating. It's just some bogus ratings. Some of them are, way easier, feel way easier. Some of them way harder than their actual rating. This one is 50 kilos. It should be 110 pounds, but it's nowhere near that. It's much higher. What else? I have this contraption right here that I showed you. This one goes from like 13 to 197 pounds. This one is very accurate because I kind of rated it myself, and it has a lot of advantages apart from the fact that it's very big. But it has a lot of advantages with the way it feels, the way it grips, the way it's constructed. I covered all of these details, like a lot of these details, in my previous video. So again, I know I'm insisting, but go check it out. And I have this, coiled up collection of grippers, which are not the official Captains of Crush grippers. They're just some knockoff, grippers that are very good, but they're rated, let's say, 100 to 350 pounds, although again, the rating is way off. Some of them are a lot easier, some of them are a lot harder than their actual rating, but they're good enough for training. And like I always like to bitch and complain in my videos, I still want to get my hands literally on one of the Captains of Crush grippers just to see how it fares against mine, and how I fare against it. What else? I have this crazy thing that I hoped it would be, of great use. It's not very useful because it puts a lot of pressure on your forearm, just like it's cutting the blood supply on your veins and whatever. So the way it's meant to be done is, you're kind of wrapping it around like this, and you should be, curling it like this for your, flexors, for your forearm training. So you should be doing this. But like I said, the pressure that it puts right here is actually very high as soon as you start curling. So in neutral, obviously, there's no pressure, but because of the way it's being constructed, it's very nasty. So what I usually tend to do is like kind of lift it in the air, and I'm trying to improvise things, but now it's it no longer feels right. Probably like this, it's okay, and I at this point I can really use it. Although the movement from the outside is quite funny, with someone just doing this all the time, right? So you get my point. But yeah, so I have these things, and now since I need to kind of stand up and put these things aside, if you'll excuse me for just 1 or 2 seconds. What else? So I have those things. I obviously have a lot of small dumbbells and stuff like that. So let me show you what I usually have here. So I like these things, which are like, chick fitness type of things, and you'll probably laugh your ass off, but I like them a lot for a lot of movements that require, healing and hundreds of reps and stuff like that just to get the blood flowing. So I usually like to do a lot of things like even punching and whatever, lateral raises, front raises, for the delts and whatever, and just also all sorts of things for your shoulders, but or for your bicep, obviously. But one of the things that I like to do with these babies right here is to train, for example, the flexors. So I kind of like to just train my flexors here, or on the opposite side, I like to train my extensors. It doesn't need to be in this position right here. Obviously, I have better positions, but just to give you like the idea of what I'm doing with them. And also, I like to load them in my hand and just work on some side pressure, not because it gives you actual resistance this way, vectors, this way, not because it does any of that, but because it loads your hand up in such a way that now I'm able to work on my elbow joint, and I personally have a lot of problems going up the brachial muscle, especially with the tendons in this area. So I'm actually doing a lot of rolls and stuff like that in all sorts of directions, and a lot of let's say semi explosive things, just to get my hand and my arm a little bit used to moving and accelerating weights that are no longer just my free hand, right? So it's very easy to just sit there and train your explosiveness for the start, and just boom, and have that feeling that you can go through a wall, and it's very good to do that. But you also need to kind of get yourself used to the fact that once you grip someone and you have that extra tension coming from their hand, you can no longer just go through them like they're nothing, just the way you used to do all by yourself in practice, by just having flash micro explosions and stuff like that, smacking your hand into the table thinking you're king. It has its time and place, but it has its time and place, if you know what I'm saying. So yeah, I use these quite a lot, apart from my girlfriend, who's actually training with them, and I bought these for her. And also I like to use this dumbbell handle, either like this and in its free form without any added weight, or just adding a few discs here, and then just work on my rising, or work on on my top roll, on my pronation, or vice versa, just working on supination and stuff like that. Obviously, improvised exercises, they all have their pros and cons. I do the same with elastic bands and whatever. If I would go to the gym, which I'm not, I would do this with the weights in the gym and with the cable machines and whatever. But yeah, I'm not doing that. Actually, I'm not doing any of these, unfortunately. I kind of have small sparks where I dedicate myself to these things for a few days, and then I just fall off the wagon, and that's it for the next few months or even more, because I haven't trained myself in the real sense of the word since September 2011. Yeah, so this September in 2021 it'll be 10 years since I trained. But not that it wouldn't show, and you would need to hear my explanation, right? It kind of shows. So that is that. So I have these things right here. I also have something that is very, very old school, both metaphorically and also literally. It is old school because it's a very old equipment. This used to belong to my grandfather. So it's one of those, spring coil, whatever, that he used to do this. I'm trying not to smack something around my desk, or also like this. Like I said, easy does it. Let's have it controlled. But the thing that helps me with this is that, first of all, even when I'm making these, movements that I just shown you, this again helps work on my stabilizers for my elbow joint. Whenever I'm doing this, I almost feel nothing anywhere in my body or in my arms, with the exception of these things. I start getting the exact pain that I'm getting when I'm starting to pull, because it's a very similar, applied pressure, trying to go like this. It's almost like trying to go with both arms from like a losing position to a dead center position, right? So here you can do a lot of things, or also here it's not very realistic for arm wrestling, but it helps a lot still with the opposite movement. And also I sometimes just used to do like emulations of whatever, so I just clamp this thing down, and I hold it in place, and I'm just doing sort of like this. This thing right here is very awkward to show you on the chair. I can't do most of them properly, but you get the idea, right? So yeah, I'm just blocking them here, and I'm just trying to do this. It is a very good emulation for quite a sturdy, mechanical arm, if you will. It gives me a very good pressure for what would be a, let's say, medium to, all right, let's say medium intensity warm up. When you're rolling with the guys and one of you is pulling and the other one is resisting, then you switch roles and whatever. So yeah, it's a really good tool for doing these things. Now, obviously, I also have some more dumbbells, but usually they're quite lightweight and they're not that heavy. But let's say I assembled one of them that is very, very heavy. It's not heavy at all, but it's the most that I can load on one dumbbell bar, and it is this. And yeah, I don't have bigger plates so that I can fill all of them with big plates. So these are all the plates that I have for this set. And yeah, these are, if I'm not mistaken, something like it's 18 kilos, I think. So that would be what, just a little over 40 pounds. So it's nothing big, nothing serious, but you can do a lot of curls and stuff like that. And what I like to do most with these things, although they're not very safe because they just have these clamps here holding the thing, but I just keep my caution that I do this sometimes, just not to have them fall on my feet and whatever. But I usually like to do like hammer curls, and even not just this, but I actually like to do some statics. So I kind of go here and I'm trying to like extend the time under pressure, basically, right? So yeah, and let's see, not that I'm warmed up, but as a small snippet and throwback, whatever, to my other video where I kind of made a fun response to Devin's video that was also very fun by nature, with tricks you can use in order to fool people thinking that you have way bigger arms than you actually than what you actually do have. Yeah, this is one of those days even the camera can't handle it. So yeah, now we're back. So again, it can handle the muscle. It's like so much. It's way too much. Let me just try to close and lock the exposure here. So yeah, you can see the significant transformation from like Mr. Twigman, Mr. Buff Spaghetti into like BAM! You know, RVJ, mini RVJ lookalike. I'm kidding. I'm a few tens of pounds away from anything like that. But yeah, if you trick the camera right, you're getting closer and you're closing the gap if you know what you're doing. And I'm already out of breath. I'm just curious how the fuck this would look like on the left side, just because since I'm not training at all, at least I like to see my arm look you know, some percentage of what it used to be back in the day when I was actually doing stuff. Now I'm out of breath just because of this, so if you'll excuse me for fooling around on your time. But yeah, I just wanted to get a glimpse of those fake big arms. Yeah, because I refuse to look in the mirror these days. But now that I kind of got a little bit pumped from just showing you things around, yeah, I saw something in the camera, so I wanted to exploit it just for a little bit. So yeah, if you'll excuse me. I have all of these things, and last but not least, I have my elastic bands. So this is like a very, very, very light elastic band that I just use for, again, like all of the other things that are being used for super lightweight things with hundreds of reps, just to get the blood flow in the muscle, in the tendons especially, because that's what, as a side note, probably you know, but muscles really recover a lot faster because they're by nature just filled with blood. They're red, right? They're like a balloon that fills itself up with water and muscle and blood. Obviously, where there's water, there's blood almost always in the body, almost always. Not always, because otherwise you'd be dead. But yeah, tendons, on the other hand, they're white by nature, as opposed to being red by nature, and that's for a reason. As connective tissue, it has very, very little to no blood flow going in. They're like at the periphery of the circulatory system, so they're just getting a tiny fraction of what goes into your muscles. So that's why it's very important to just flood your tendons with as much blood as you can by doing hundreds and thousands of reps with insanely small weights. Sometimes even not weights. Sometimes I'm just lifting my arm up or just gripping nothing, just air and stuff like that. So this I'm using for like medical purposes almost. Whereas I have at the other end of the spectrum, I have this crazy shit right here, which is they are saying it's 45 kilos, which means 99 pounds, so it's 100 pounds, let's say. And what I'm sometimes doing, because I just want to feel like I'm pulling cement, I fold it in half, and now when I'm fucking pulling on things, it has little to no give, just very little give. And if you're insane, you can pretty much injure yourself even with this elastic band. So what I usually do is I'm training all of those, I'm training my pronation. Here I'm training my, supination here, and yeah, my wrist just cracked. I'm training my, my riser, and sometimes I'm, going like this, and now I'm, training my cup, but obviously I'm not in this setup, but you get the idea. Even like this inverted cup doesn't matter, because sometimes you need to get out of a flopped wrist in losing position. Flopped wrists are not just happening in a press when you're on the winning side. So it's not just beneficial to actually do it here. It's a lot. It has just as many benefits with doing it here. Obviously, I'm saying things that you already know, but yeah, just letting you know in case you don't know. So yeah, I have my elastic bands, I have my grippers, my huge variety of grippers and things that mimic grippers, my forearm trainers, the old school thing that I use to emulate like an arm in the absence of anyone else to train with. I have my dumbbells and my handle-shaped dumbbells, and a few more gadgets that are more for like full body training, whatever, for abs, for quads, for stuff like that. And also I have like a huge briefcase. I mean, it's not huge, it's actually a very small briefcase, but it's very heavy because it's actually the briefcase of one dumbbell set. So the dumbbells are like, it's like a molded briefcase that just holds in my discs and my dumbbell handles. So I'm putting everything inside. I'm not assembling anything. I'm just leaving them inside the way they are. I'm closing. I'm securing the locks on the briefcase in which they came, and I'm just using it to pull like almost like I'm mimicking like one-handed rows, like a T-bar row or whatever, just for like some back pressure in the absence of anything around the house to train with for my back. Because as you know, you can pretty much train everything in terms of muscle groups just with your own body weight, but one of the hardest muscle groups to train is the back, if you are lacking any type of bar to have your pull-ups and stuff like that. So in the absence of that, I have to like make inverted pull-ups, which is pulling stuff up from the floor and stuff like that, or with my elastic bands, just pulling on things and just isolating that thing to go into the lats and the rhomboids and everything around the shoulder blade. Also the lower insertion of the traps and stuff like that. You can also train your traps with the elastic band, no problem. Anyway, I'm going off on a rant here, so that's kind of it. Sometimes I also improvise with really strange things, like doing a lot of weird body weight exercises, or for my wrists, a lot of weird inverted push-ups and stuff like that in awkward positions, or like dips for the triceps and for the side and upper chest and whatever. Sometimes I just like to pick very heavy things, like for example trying to pick a chair by its leg, although obviously I cannot do this except with some chairs that I have, right? I'm not that strong, but yeah, I'm just improvising, usually on paper, in theory, because that's what I used to do. And now I have all this equipment just because I know how to use it, and I think I'll use it, but each day goes by and I don't do any of these things, and that kind of kills me inside, again, both literally and metaphorically. So yeah, let me know what you guys think about my crappy or not so crappy equipment. What do you guys have? how do you guys improvise during COVID or post-COVID, if you can anticipate that, or how did you used to train normally when you would go to the gym, or do you go to the gym right now? Are gyms open? Do you actually stay away from these contraptions and weights, and do you mostly spar on the table? How do you guys do things? Let me know down in the comment section below, and also let me know if you liked this video or you thought it's a complete waste of time. I hope it wasn't, but if it was, I'm sorry. Hopefully it was entertaining enough when I was trying to fool around in front of the camera with my big arms, right? So yeah, I think I'll try to make that as a thumbnail just for clickbaiting, but yeah, we all know what's up. That's not me. So next time, let me know what you thought about the equipment and overall what you guys are doing on your side to keep yourself trained, unlike myself. So see you guys next time. Okay, bye bye.